I just wanted to jump in and talk about your enthusiasm and your love of cinema. I love what you do. You're like a maverick filmmaker. I like the way you go at it.
Yes.
Just talk about the inspiration, the personal inspiration, then the inspiration for this movie.
I'm inspired by the movies I saw as a kid and the TV and comics and everything that I grew up, and I feel that the culture has moved into almost postmodern reflection of those things. And the movies I make have no postmodern reflection. They are earnest, heart on sleeve, romantic notion, embraces of this is the movies that we should be watching.
Now, as a kid, what's that one single movie that just like totally blew you away? The one that punched you in the gut and made you say, hey, this is what I want to do for a living.
Planet of the Apes was one. I mean, it really transformed my world. I came out of that movie going, what was that? Is that makeup? What is it? I knew it was makeup because I was already a monster kid, but John Chambers' monster makeup was amazing. Then 2001 and Taxi Driver.
Now, as a director now, when you're working on a film, what percentage of that kid remains inside of you as you're working on a project?
I think about 80%. And then the other 20% has to be a responsible 48-year-old.
Okay, so you can get the job done.
Yeah, but the larger part of me is still like a child.
How'd you sell the premise of this? Because we're talking about 250-foot gigantic robots, Godzilla-like creatures that just go at it, like total mayhem, which for me is cool, because I enjoy it every single second of it. But on the business side, how do you sell a project like this?
In selling it to the studio was not needed in this instance because Legendary, the studio that birthed it, was already on board. Then we went to Warner Brothers and we had a huge presentation, which had maquettes, models, paintings, animated storyboards and all that. And I gave a presentation, but basically outlined what I said yesterday. This is how we're gonna do it, this is how it's gonna look. And if you see the art of book and you see the concept, it's exactly the movie. Meaning the moment we started conceiving it, I knew what I wanted. And Warner's came on board gladly. And then you have to sell it to an audience, and it's difficult to convey everything if you don't love the genre, but we're doing our best at it.
No, I love it, and I love your enthusiasm. Talk a little bit about, like, the underappreciation or lack of understanding the involvement of your team in creating the look and feel and bringing everything to life, because it's so confused with this process called computer-generated animation.
I think it's a misnomer to call computer animation because people think computers make it. But that's like calling a painting brushwork. It is not the brush that does it. Computer is just a tool. We all go at it. I direct those shots. I direct the acting on those shots. John Knoll acts as the cinematographer and supervisor for the whole thing. Hal acts as the animator, head of the animation department, and each animator brings their personality to it. So everybody is human-made art, not computers. Computers are just a tool that we use.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, how much concern do you have that your robots will be confused or mixed together with the robots that people have seen in the Transformer movies?
Not at all, because the design is entirely different, the scale is entirely different. I love Transformers, my daughters love Transformers, but their coding, the visual coding is completely different. They're different designs, and the way they move basically like humans, because they are not that much larger. We are basically animated buildings. They are 25 stories high. And I think that the aesthetic the director brings to each movie is completely different.